Central! You're probably wondering why we're wearing our gowns. It's because we're graduating. We're leaving.
I hope I am.
Alex, don't be like that. You're graduating.
Are you graduating?
I think so. I don't know. It's exciting! Woo!
Kinda close though.
Okay. Well, since this is our last Central News Center, we're gonna make this one the best one yet.
Yeah.
Woo! Let's go. So first up, we have Zach with choir. Take it away, Zach.
Expect to hear at our next concert.
We're going to hear, or we're going to sing a couple of songs of different languages. We'll sing one that's called Jabula Jesu, one that uses an African language. We're going to sing one that's called Salmo 150, and that one is in Spanish. And then we're going to sing another song in English. So you're going to hear a couple different things. It's all traditional high school choral literature, stuff that allows us to be successful, but also challenge us enough to help us move to the next level.
Do you think the choirs have gotten better since the beginning of the year?
I do, of course I do. Or else why would you pay me, right? That's what we want to do, is we want to strive for perfection, achieve excellence. So anything that you practice on a daily basis, or in our case, an every other day basis, anytime you spend time on something, the idea is to get better at it. And so what we do is we spend our time with repetition, with learning new things, to try and improve upon not only our vocal technique, but our singing as a group and things like that. So, of course, yeah, we spent lots of time doing it. Anything you spend time at, you get better at. I'm really proud of the kids this year.
Yo, next up we have Hayden Sapu with National DECA. I believe they went to California because I saw it on their Snapchat stories. What? Take it away, Hayden.
What was this trip for?
The International Career Development Conference, or we call it ICDC, is an annual event where students who win at their state competition have the opportunity to compete against 200 plus kids from all over the nation, Canada, Guam, Puerto Rico. Was some from France and Germany and Spain. But it's mainly for competition to see how they can compete against the rest of the DECA kids across the nation. There's over 19,000 kids there this year, so it was the largest conference we've ever had. So it's an amazing conference for them, not just to compete, but to network and to experience everything that DECA has to offer.
What did you compete in?
I competed in personal finance literacy.
I competed in a team event with Molly Bozeski, and we did buying and merchandising.
Me and Quinn, we did business law and ethics team decision making.
Me and Adrian competed in a financial team decision-making event. So basically it's a role play where you walk in, get a sheet, and it tells you to assume the role of, let's say, a financial analysis or something like that. There's a set of judges, we plan out our presentation, and we present to them what we're assigned to do.
And then mine was a prepared event. It was a finance operations research event. So what I did was basically I made a social media business plan for a local business in the financial realm, I guess. And then I wrote a 30-page manual for that, and then I gave a 15-minute presentation. Well, I guess to get an opportunity for this trip, I had to either take first or second at state in my event. And then after that, after I took second at state, and then after that I got a bid to nationals. And then the whole month of April, I really locked down my manual and on my executive summary, and then my presentation I redid it to make it better. And then just to get ready for the national competition, I went to my parents' friend's house and gave my presentation to them, and I'd have them videotape it. I did that every weekend leading up to the national tournament. So when I got to nationals, I wasn't as nervous. I wasn't nervous at all because I knew my thing word for word basically, and I knew my time ranges between 13 and 14 minutes, and they give you a maximum of 15. So I wasn't really that nervous. Well, I got I got kind of nervous when I was waiting there, but once it was time to go, it was just I knew what I was doing, and I knew how my time was going. And then
what did you do to prepare for this trip?
Then I made business cards and tried to interact with the judge. I printed out a fake Twitter page and everything. So I really did that just to try to step my game up, to try to win a national title. But I ended up not making the national title or getting on stage, but I still got top 30% in the nation in my event, which is pretty good. Because there's a lot of teams that had 3-person teams and 2-person, and I was an individual in my event, so I kind of had a disadvantage there. But other than that, I did pretty well.
To agree with that, also going to the beaches and finishing in the top 30% of the nation.
The most memorable part for me was probably getting to spend a week with friends and making new friends. That was my favorite part.
My most memorable part was actually getting to California and just walking out of the airport and just seeing how nice it is there.
Mom, I already told you, McDonald's for lunch. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Oh, we're on.
Hello. Next up, we have Faith with a review. So that's gonna be dope. Take it away, Faith.
Hi, I'm Faith, and today I'm going to be reviewing Going in Style and Fate of the Furious. Going in Style is directed by Zach Braff and stars Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and Alan Arkin, and it's about 3 senior citizens who get their pension funds taken away by their bank, so they decide to rob that same bank. Unfortunately, they realize they are very old and cannot rob a bank on their own, so they will be needing to practice and get some help. So overall, I found this movie was very lighthearted and funny. You will notice if you go that there are a lot of senior citizens in the theater, and that's because this movie is meant for senior audiences. It's a very entertaining movie, and I feel like you can really enjoy a lot of the humor in it. It's a really nice break if you've been watching a lot of those 2-hour movies. I'd say it's really refreshing. Despite its short runtime, there's a lot of heart in the movie, and for its desired audience, I found that I enjoyed it nonetheless. So I would give Going in Style 3.5 stars. Fate of the Furious is the 8th movie in the Fast and the Furious franchise, directed by F. Gary Gray, and stars Vin Diesel, Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham, and Michelle Rodriguez, to name a few. In this movie, Dom has seemingly gone rogue and is working with a mysterious cyber terrorist known as Cypher. The gang, obviously realizing that something is wrong, goes to stop Dom and Cypher before any more chaos ensues. So, for the 8th movie in the Fast and the Furious franchise, it holds up pretty well in entertainment value and actual plot. It has all the antics that you can expect from a Fast and the Furious movie. If you saw the trailer, you'd know that there's a scene where Cypher controls a bunch of cars and they all come crashing down, and it's a very entertaining scene to watch. You have to remember with these movies that it's going to be unrealistic and you can't take that too seriously. It's all part of the fun. So with that in mind, I found Fate of the Furious to be a very entertaining movie, and I enjoyed it a lot. Even people who don't normally watch the series or just watching this movie would enjoy it a lot too. I would give Fate of the Furious 4 stars.
Alright. Got it?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good?
I'm good.
Good. Alright, well, up next we have our friend Jaden.
Okay.
And he will be interviewing the seniors.
Woo! Ooh!
How was your last year at Central?
Pretty good. We don't get very much homework except, econ and government, which I had to take in 1 semester, which is now.
How's your last 4 years at Central been?
Pretty easy. Like, nothing too bad. Didn't really get into drama. Had no detention hours. Go me.
So, what will you be doing for college?
I'm going to go to NDSU for medical engineering and then go back to UND for neurology.
Okay, thank you. How's your last year at Central been?
It was a good time. I had a lot of fun.
How's your last 4 years at Central been?
They went by really fast because it's been a blast.
And where are you going to college?
I'm gonna go to NDSU.
For what?
For not sure yet.
Okay.
Dude, it's getting me. It's
God, oh my...
Oh, wait, we're back. Next up, we have Dante with Freshman Thoughts. Take it away, Dante.
Hello, Central. This month I interviewed some students to see how their school year went and what they thought about our school. So without further ado, here are your Grand Forks Central freshmen.
My name is Caleb Holmes.
What did you think about your first year at Central?
Loved it.
What are some things you like about Central?
It was way more easier. Like last year I didn't do so well for grades, and it was way more easier to get better grades this year.
What is some advice you have for the incoming freshmen?
Probably to get more involved, do some extra stuff, like get into clubs, the usual stuff they all tell you.
Alright, thank you very much. What did you think about your first year at Central?
It was fun.
What are some things you like about Central?
The hospitality of the other students and the nice teachers.
What's your advice for incoming freshmen?
Don't mess with the sophomores and juniors and seniors because we don't want to be bothered.
Thank you very much.
Walls.
What do you think of your school year so far?
I think it's gone pretty well. It hasn't really been that stressful.
Right? Is there anything about Central that you don't like?
No, I can't really think of anything major.
Alright, thank you.
Up next, we have this fellow named after a town in Texas. No, it's not Austin. His name's Dallas, and he is doing the War for Literacy conference. Woo!
War for Lit is a yearly event that celebrates literacy with public speakers, breakout sessions, and free food. Next, you go down to the hall and listen to the speaker. This year's being Ellen Hopkins, author of the best-selling Crank series. When the speaker finishes, everyone splits up by their favorite genre of book and receives suggestions on books you may be interested in. After the first session, it's time for lunch. The food is free and plentiful, having enough for seconds and thirds of pizza. The same is said for the water, juice, and cookies. After 2 more sessions, there's the final event, the giveaway. During this, everyone's name gets put into a hat and receives a prize, from books to the grand prize being a Kindle. All of this is paid for by these wonderful sponsors.
Thank you, Bank Forward.
Thanks, Choice Financial.
Thank you, Hope Church.
Thank you, Kiwanis.
Thank you, Red River High School Boosters Club.
Thanks to Marks Lewis Construction.
Thank you, Anderson Drywall, Hornblockers, and Pizza Ranch.
Thank you, Tim Hortons, Urban Stampede, and River Cinema.
Thank you, Papa Murphy's, Corner Coffee, and Our Number Nutrition.
Thanks, GFC Boosters and Windmeats.
Up next, her name starts with an A and ends in an A. Her name's Aubria. No, it's Aubrey.
Aubrey. It's Aubrey.
Yeah. And she'll be doing Northside Nights. Take it away.
Northside Nights is a volleyball program that helps athletes compete in the off-season. When does the season occur?
Typically the last week in February through the end of April or the beginning of May.
Who can participate in it?
Students who are in 4th grade all the way up to seniors in high school.
Do players try out to make a team?
Yes. In the past we've had it that everybody will make a team, but you try out and based on your skill you're placed on the team based on skill.
What is the mission of Northside Nights?
The mission is to get North End kids, so kids who are going to Central High School, to get to play volleyball in the off season at a affordable price. We offer lots of fundraising opportunities to get our athletes coming here to Central to have more volleyball playing experience. We have partnered with UND and have coaches who are current UND athletes, and they help with our mission as well.
Why would you recommend it?
I would recommend because it's a lot of fun. You get to play volleyball with some of your friends, meet new people too. Get a different side of coaching that you wouldn't get here at Central, and to improve your skills if you're wanting to pursue a volleyball career.
Can you see it? The worst is over. The monsters in my head are scared of love. Finding people, listen up. It's never too late to change your life. So don't let them steal your life.
Next up, we have Caleb with the current North Dakota events and permits. I can see that, Alex.
Sorry about that.
Take it away, Caleb.
This week in North Dakota, the State Department of Health is writing rules on medical marijuana following the passage of the state's new law 2 weeks ago. Voters approved a measure 6 months ago legalizing marijuana use for medical purposes only. The legislators replaced the law with a new one they wrote during their recent legislative session. Proponents said it includes necessary regulations for federal illegal products but still provides adequate patient access. Among the state's priorities are preventing the diversion of marijuana to people who aren't qualified to use it and making sure it's safe for patients. Bollinger said 29 states in the District of Columbia allow for comprehensive public medical marijuana and cannabis programs, according to the National Conference of State Legislators. And to Alex and Jonah.
It was her destiny to report on something like this. And yes, her name is Destiny Miller. She will be reporting to us about a thing that's put on by our school that's called Night Idol. Let me get a what? Okay. Go, Destiny.
Good morning, Central. I'm Destiny Miller, and I'm here with Josie Bernadette. Okay, I have a couple questions for you. So obviously you made it onto The Voice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what was that like?
The coolest thing ever. Dream came true. I've wanted it since probably before you could even, how old? You're 18?
Yep.
So it's been on for 12 seasons. So, a long, long time.
What made you pick American Woman for your song?
So, the producers picked that for me. So I auditioned with multiple songs, and then they kind of got the vibe I wanted.
American woman, stay away from me. American woman, mama, let me be.
So, do you audition before you go to blind auditions?
Yeah, so I auditioned last June of last year.
Oh.
And then there's 4 more before you get to the blinds. So they flew me out to LA in August to audition again, and then blinds were in October. So it's been like almost a year of The Voice.
No, you do not ever hear about those other auditions.
Nope.
So do you audition in front of like the
executive
judges?
producers and all the people who made The Voice, and then you get to the judges. So there's 4 round or open call, so that's like where you can drive to like the Alaris and audition. And then there's an audition in a studio with the camera just like that, and they send it Skyping to the producers in LA. And then they flew me out to LA for a week, and then you go back for blinds, and then you go back.
Oh. Okay. Was it just kind of like a dream for you? Like, is it
Yeah.
for real?
No. Some days I wake up and for like a month, probably after, I'd wake up just laughing because you think you have dreams about it, and then you're like, wait, that really happened. So
Yeah.
it really was a dream come true.
That's crazy. Okay. So I know you get like a lot of fans, and I come up and ask you questions. There's like one thing that you could tell younger girls. What would it be?
Good question. I'd say to go after your biggest dreams. I'm from Grand Forks. I never thought I would actually make it on The Voice and make it on a stage like that and work with Celine Dion and Gwen Stefani. And if I can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it, and you shouldn't limit yourself if you're from a small town. People didn't even know people lived in North Dakota. So when I got out to LA, they're like, wait, people live there? I'm like, yeah, we just got electricity actually, like yesterday. But
It's this new thing.
yeah, so I'd say don't limit yourself from where you're from. Your past is not your potential, and you can go for your biggest dreams, because if you want it bad enough, it could probably happen, just like me.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dustin.
Guys, seriously, since this is our last one, I told Alex that he would have to give me a hug, and he said no. So, I don't know, we'll just end it off like that, but next year, you guys will have some new anchors. I'm sure they'll be great.
Oh, yeah.
Like Tony the Tiger would say for Frosted Flakes. Am I right? Am I right? Let me hear it. Yep. Woo!
Yeah!
So, I'm Jonah Hale.
I'm Alex Helgen.
and this is Central News Center.